Well, good morning, guys, and thank you so much for joining me. Top of the morning to you. We are at day 3 of our week, but day 2 of our journey through the song Worth It All. We were looking at Genesis 22, and as I said, this is going to be the passage that we travel through this week with this song. We're picking up at verse 4. Previously, Abraham has been asked by God to bring Isaac to this secluded location where he is going to sacrifice him as a burnt offering to God. Verse 4 says this: On the third day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place from afar. Then Abraham said to his young men, Stay here with the donkey. I and the boy will go over there and worship and come again to you. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it on Isaac his son, and he took his hand in the fire and the knife. So they went off, both of them together. And Isaac said to his father, Abraham, my father. And he said, Here I am, my son. He said, Behold the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb of the burnt offering? Abraham said, God will provide for himself the lamb for a burnt offering, my son. So they went both of them together. I cannot begin to even wrap my head around what Abraham was processing in this moment. But before we even dig into that, I think it's very obvious and it is very beautiful to see the richness of what Abraham has instilled in Isaac. And I say that as a dad raising boys and hoping that they develop a relationship with the Lord to trust and follow him. You can see that the understanding that Isaac has is this is what we do to honor God. But there's always a sacrifice. So he's knowledgeable of how we show reverence and how they worship God. But he also knows that something's missing. But in his father's voice, just yesterday I was talking about understanding and hearing your father's voice and someone you're in a relationship with, the tone of their voice can speak in a way that can bring clarity, confidence, fear, correction, depending on what it is. In his father's voice, I assure you, because I believe the trust that Abraham had in God, that him saying to him, God will provide the lamb for him, was in that comforting voice to trust and know that in the end, the way this was set up is not how it's going to play out. The discipling piece, the teaching pieces that Abraham is living out and facilitating and showing Isaac in the most tangible, fear-filled way of what it is like to fear and honor the Lord. Still speaking the truth that God is God, He is great, and He loves us, knowing in the back of his mind that He's asking him to bring His only Son to sacrifice Him. I look at that and I want to say this to us today. What is the Lord asking you to give up that you may be finding yourself saying, I do not understand why this would be the thing I would give up? But is the question or the call, I should say, or the ask that the Lord is really laying on your heart is to say, are you willing to let that go? How brave, how trusting, how honoring, how much do you fear my love for you that you're willing to lay down and sacrifice the thing that you hold on most dear? I have been in a position personally where I can look at many times and say, man, I feel like the Lord is asking me to let this go, but it just doesn't feel right. Right now is not the time He wants me to let that go. And then I've been in seasons where I'm like, you know what? I don't care if I get the opportunity to do this. I don't care if I get the opportunity to do this. I'm just going to let it go and allow God to have His way in this. And literally, just as Isaac believed, or Isaac knew that something was to be in place for the sacrifice, and Abraham believed the Lord would provide, the Lord has provided for me in ways. He has provided whatever that was that I was willing to let go of, which was my sacrifice. The things that I was willing to sacrifice because I wanted them for me the way I wanted them, the Lord replenished them and gave me abundance of those. I don't think for one second that Abraham is seeking to find anything from God in this moment other than to see Him be who He says He is, who His promise has always been, a deliverer. Abraham is not looking for any other blessing other than for the Lord to come through, and he's trusting that. He's just, Lord, I just want to see you be who you've always been, who I know you are. And that's what this pre-chorus refers to. It's not the seeking of anything from God, but just to see his face and to see him be the genuine and promise keeper that we know he is. Around every corner and up every mountain, I'm not looking for crowds or the water from fountains. I'm desperate and seeking, frantic believing that the sight of your face is all that I'm needing. And I will say to you, I have to pause there because tomorrow we are looking at the chorus, and as it says, it's going to be worth it. I pray that you guys find yourself today trusting that whatever it is the Lord is calling you to or asking you to let go of, that he has a reason and he will provide. Don't let that become something that you hold on so tight to because you don't see how life can move forward without it. Be willing to let go and trust that if he's calling you to a place, he's also going to provide that sacrifice for you when you get there. I hope you guys have a blessed day.